Have you ever come across a life story that just um, refuses to fit neatly into any single box? A journey so rich and, well, multifaceted that it almost defies definition. That's kind of the thrill we're chasing today as we plunge into an extraordinary deep dive. We're looking at the collected works and a truly remarkable life, that of Manuel del Valle Colón. And we'll be paying special attention to his powerful poetry volume, Murmurs, and how it speaks to everything else he achieved.
Right, and our mission is precisely that, to go beyond just the impressive resume. We've gathered a fascinating array of sources, his biographical info, these evocative excerpts from his poetry, even an AI-generated tribute. And the idea is to help us extract the most profound nuggets of insight. We want to show you how a single individual can sort of seamlessly weave together worlds that usually seem so far apart. Think of this as your shortcut, maybe, to understanding a man who left an indelible mark not just in one field, but in law, academia, and literature.
Exactly. This isn't about just passively reading poetry or, like, ticking off accomplishments from a CV. This is about understanding the very essence of a journey, a path that took a child from the housing projects of New York right up to the highest echelons of law and literature, all while nurturing this unwavering dedication to justice and a really profound appreciation for beauty. We'll trace his early life, the groundbreaking legal battles he championed, his academic prowess, and then, crucially, we'll see how all those experiences are intricately woven into the rich themes of his poetry. It promises to be, well, a deeply insightful exploration. Okay, so let's start where his poetry begins, maybe. With the dedication of the Murmurs collection, it's addressed to all those in the world with soft voices speaking quietly, who without hesitation always speak their truth to the world. That's a pretty powerful statement, isn't it? How does that dedication immediately set the stage for understanding Manuel del Valle as a person, and his life's work?
Oh, it's absolutely central. Because what's so fascinating here is how that dedication directly mirrors his own life narrative. Born in East Harlem in 1948, growing up in the Carver and Douglas projects, his early environment was undeniably one that would have demanded a quiet yet formidable inner strength to speak one's truth. It wasn't a place for bombast, but for real conviction. And he credits his teachers of Chinese, Thai, and Japanese, not just for language skills, but for profoundly expanding his linguistic, cultural, and spiritual vocabulary.
Wow.
This early immersion isn't just a biographical detail, it's the very seed from which his later poetry and even his legal advocacy kind of blooms. It shows how deeply language and culture shaped his soul and his unique lyrical precision.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that early life wasn't just about the projects, though, right? He was clearly a bright and engaged student from the start. He attended New York public schools, eventually landing at Brooklyn Technical High School from 62 to 66. And here's a detail that really grabbed my attention. While there, he wasn't just a bookworm. He was involved in the Free World Club, Debating Society, Survey, manager of the fencing team. But what really stands out to me is his involvement with the polling squad, which actually did polling for New York City elections, not just school stuff. What do you think that early exposure to real-world politics taught him?
Well, it speaks volumes about his character, even as a teenager, doesn't it? That level of civic engagement, actually stepping out of the school gates to participate in city elections, it shows someone who was not just intellectually curious, but already, committed to understanding and engaging with the machinery of society. And the yearbook excerpts from his peers, they reinforce this. Quotes like, "To an amateur historian, to my favorite philosopher, king of quotes," it reflects an early recognition of his intellectual curiosity and profound depth. Even a message like, "May the gods fight at your shoulder," from a swimming team member hints at a strong spirit. Maybe acknowledging the challenges his friends knew he navigated. It's pretty clear he was seen as someone with both a keen mind and an unshakable resolve, even back then.
His academic journey after that is truly nothing short of remarkable. From Brooklyn Tech, he entered the Yale Transitional Year Program, then Wesleyan, and later transferred to Princeton. And here's where it gets really interesting, I think. While at Princeton, from 69 to 71, he triple majored history, Latin American studies, and Afro-American studies. What does this unique combination, especially at such a prestigious institution in that era, reveal about his developing worldview and his future path, particularly given his background?
That combination of majors, yeah, especially in that specific time period, intense social and political upheaval, it's incredibly telling. It speaks to a deep analytical commitment to understanding identity, power structures, historical injustices. He wasn't just studying these fields, he was kind of living their implications. And his impact at Princeton was really significant. He wasn't just a student, he actively shaped the institution. He founded the Latino organization on campus.
Right, I saw that.
effectively recruited Latino and Latina students, and even gained university approval for one of the first Ivy League seminars on the history and politics of Puerto Rico. Think about that. And his senior thesis, A History of the Puerto Rican Student in Public Education, 1945-1969, it was so insightful that a chapter got incorporated into a memorandum for Senator Jacob Yavitz.
Wow.
Yeah, a key progressive Republican, a leading voice in civil rights. Del Valle actually interned for him. And later, the Puerto Rican Legal Defense and Education Fund used this work. So this clearly shows how profoundly his personal experience, growing up in the projects, informed and fueled these academic and advocacy passions. It's scholarship directly translating into actionable change.
That's incredible. And after graduating from Princeton in '71, his academic journey continued. He went to Yale Law School on a prestigious John Hay Whitney Fellowship from '71 to '74. And here's a compelling detail, sort of sets a fascinating backdrop. His classmates included future Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas and the brilliant legal scholar Lani Guarnier. But while at Yale, he wasn't just hitting the books, was he? He also founded the undergraduate Puerto Rican organization, Despierta Boricua, and taught courses on Puerto Rican history and the Puerto Rican experience in the U.S. So even as a law student, he was already wearing these hats, educator, advocate.
Absolutely. And it was almost inevitable, wasn't it? Someone with such a strong foundation in advocacy and a deep understanding of social dynamics would then channel that passion directly into the legal arena. Let's look at his early legal career, where his work quickly translated into tangible change. From '74 to '75, he served as a trial attorney with the Puerto Rican Legal Defense and Education Fund, Inc. What's particularly striking here is his involvement in two groundbreaking cases, Aspira v. Board of Education of the City of New York and Pabon v. Levine.
Tell us more about those cases. Why were they so significant?
Well, Aspira v. Board of Education resulted in a consent decree for bilingual education for limited English-speaking children. Now, for you listening, a consent decree is basically a legally binding agreement sanctioned by the court mandating specific actions. This was truly groundbreaking for its time. It impacted thousands of students, affirming their right to an education in their native language while they learned English. A huge step. And in Pabon v. Levine, he helped ensure bilingual notice for Spanish-speaking claimants seeking unemployment benefits. These weren't just, abstract legal victories. They were fundamental affirmations of human dignity and access to essential services for entire communities. These cases show an immediate, profound, tangible impact on real people's lives. It reflects that dedication to those with soft voices we talked about earlier.
Right, absolutely. And his legal career didn't just start strong, it spanned decades, touching on numerous prestigious and impactful roles. He was admitted to practice in multiple states, New York, New Jersey, D.C., Pennsylvania, and before the U.S. Supreme Court itself. That's quite something. And for over a decade, he served as a trial attorney for the U.S. Department of Labor, prosecuting federal labor law violations. So he wasn't just defending rights, he was ensuring fair treatment in the workplace, too.
Exactly. And beyond the courtroom, he just continually expanded his intellectual horizons. It shows a deep commitment to legal scholarship. In '83-'84, he was one of only 17 Americans selected for a prestigious Rockefeller Foundation Fellowship that's a highly competitive grant, lets scholars pursue advanced research. He used this incredible opportunity to study at the London School of Economics, preparing a thesis on Puerto Rican jurisprudence before the U.S. Supreme Court. And for context, Puerto Rican jurisprudence that examines the unique and, frankly, complex legal status and rights of Puerto Rico within the U.S. federal system. This research was subsequently published, further showing his dedication to profound intellectual inquiry, moving beyond just legal practice.
And he didn't stop bridging theory and practice there, did he? He became one of the few Puerto Rican arbitrators in the U.S. after extensive training Cornell, the American Arbitration Association, Hofstra. And for those unfamiliar, an arbitrator is essentially a neutral third party, trained to help resolve disputes outside of court. It offers a more accessible, often quicker path to justice. Later, a Ford Foundation Fellowship led to this massive 400-page monograph on national origin discrimination against Hispanics. It was so significant it got published in the Harvard Journal of Hispanic Policy. This is someone who just relentlessly pursued knowledge and then applied it not just to individual cases, but to these big systemic issues.
Yeah, and if we connect this to the bigger picture, his entire career trajectory, it's remarkably consistent. From partner in a law firm, Del Valle and Zayas, to an impartial hearing officer for special education cases, meaning he heard and decided disputes between parents and school districts, to becoming the chief administrative of the New York State Division of Human Rights, the first Puerto Rican to hold that position, by the way, where he prioritized racial, sexual harassment, and AIDS cases. All of it just shows this unwavering dedication to human rights and civil liberties. And remarkably, he kept teaching civil rights, international human rights, at Fordham Law School. It's a life defined by an almost relentless pursuit of justice and intellectual rigor, clearly driven by a deep sense of empathy.
So, what does all of this incredible life experience mean when we turn to his poetry? His legal career is, yeah, a testament to advocacy and intellectual rigor, absolutely. But his poetry reveals this deeply introspective, interconnected, and profoundly spiritual spirit. The AI's tribute in verse captured this beautifully, I thought, calling him a poet of many tongues, defender of many truths, and saying he built bridges not just between geographies, but between realms, the legal and the luminous, the historical and the mythical, the spoken and the felt. It's like his life was the material and his poetry the distillation, maybe.
Precisely. That's a great way to put it. His Omnibus poetry series itself, just look at the titles: Yale, Wesleyan, Princeton, Puerto Rico Profiles, Spain and Morocco, Chinese Tears, Pandemic, Goddesses, Fencing, Ascension. It immediately showcases an incredible breadth of experience and reflection. It's like a literal map of his intellectual and spiritual travels. And the themes woven through Murmurs are equally expansive, covering this whole spectrum of the human experience.
Okay, let's dive into some specifics from Murmurs then. Many poems seem to explore a deep connection to nature and self-discovery. He writes, "Home is any place where you are affirmed, a tropical bay, a place with abandoned monkeys, fruit trees, wherever you look, where confidence arises, laughter takes the place of all of that."
Yeah.
This isn't just descriptive, it's a vivid, affirming vision of belonging, tied directly to the natural world.
And that connection is profound, yeah. In one poem, Beauty Under the Evening Lights of a Tropical Village, nature is portrayed as this protective canopy, fostering a bonfire of joy, hope, and exaltation. With elders sharing tales and hermits awaiting enlightenment, unaware it was always here, it's beautiful. But he also critically questions man's intrusion, like in the poem about men try to hijack nature's beauty by aligning it with things of their making, like a makeshift train on a mountainside. Only for nature to subtly remind us who is the master here, with a branch or a fallen leaf. It speaks to this deep ecological awareness. That might well have informed his broader sense of justice, extending beyond human rights to the planet itself.
Interesting connection. Other poems delve into profound inner reflection in the human condition. There's a really powerful line, "Pity me not, for that is not love. That is just a way of dealing with your insecurity, not mine." And urging for genuine connection. "Reach out to my heart without words, but with a smile, showing me you care with the gestures of love without recourse to the artifice of suffering." Coach Goal. That really challenges us to look beyond superficial sympathy, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, and it resonates so strongly with the idea of confronting our deepest fears, finding clarity within ourselves, something he clearly practiced through his multicultural and spiritual studies. There's that poem about dropping a bottle of eye drops and spinning chaotically around the room in search for what you need, which culminates in finding it right alongside you all of this time after taking the time to meditate. It's such a perfect metaphor for self-awareness and inner peace, something, well, we all struggle with in our frantic lives. And even more profoundly, he dreams about the question behind all of our questions. How much time do I have left? And realizes that his spirit did not know of time, leading him to ponder the preciousness of life's moments. This echoes that philosophical depth his peers saw way back in high school.
Yeah, it really does. He also explores these powerful themes of justice, empathy, and resilience. In one particularly powerful poem, two barefoot sons enter a Buddhist temple seeking merit for their assassinated parents, and they arrive, understandably, with revenge in their hearts. It draws such a sharp contrast between personal vengeance and true justice.
Right. And the poem guides them, and really us too, to understand that merit they seek lies in cleansing their bodies of hatred, and that justice does not come from their hands, but from the brave and good-hearted souls that can make right what others have made wrong. Yeah. It contrasts individual retribution with the idea of collective healing and the inevitable reach of karma. This isn't just poetic philosophy, it mirrors his entire legal career. He sought systemic change for justice, not just individual vindication. And then there's another poem, Three Candies Held Secretly in the Hands of His Father, speaking to enduring support and love through the chaos of war and displacement, reminding us that his father's training, tastes, and devotion to a more just world stayed with him through everything. It's that deep personal connection to justice, instilled from childhood, fueling his incredible career.
His experiences with culture, language, and learning also shine through beautifully in the poetry. We see a young schoolteacher in a remote Thai village, facing overwhelming poverty, whose idealism is tested. but who fills his heart with passion to teach practical things like the agricultural calendar and moon cycles. It's a testament to the power of education, even in the most challenging circumstances, and it kind of echoes his own teaching at Yale and Fordham.
And this connects so perfectly to his biography, doesn't it? The poem Unforgiving Characters, Unforgiving Scripts speaks to the struggle, but also the ultimate reward of learning new languages, where the soul thrives and the spirit reaches incredible heights by deciphering the wisdom hidden behind each stroke. This directly relates to his own extensive linguistic studies and how they shaped his, quote, lyrical precision and philosophical depth. It shows that for him, learning wasn't just about acquiring facts. It was a deeply spiritual journey of sort of self-transcendence.
Finally, the theme of identity and transformation seems central too. There's a striking poem about how the costumes hides a search for a true self, where nature gives its creatures unique appearances for freedom to roam, but industrial work tries to make humans uniform, suppressing the costumes in their minds that nature provides. It feels like a critique of how modern life can strip us of our individuality, a call to embrace our authentic, nature-given selves.
And this resonates so strongly with his own journey, right? From the housing projects to Ivy League institutions, always maintaining his unique identity and advocating for others to do the same. He was always true to his own costume, you could say, even when the world tried to make him uniform.
Wow. What an incredible journey we've taken through a truly exceptional life. Manuel de Valle Colón really embodies the spirit of a warrior scholar, as one poem describes him, relentlessly waging war against ignorance and injustice, all while cultivating this rich, deeply introspective inner life filled with beauty. He truly lived at that intersection of action and contemplation.
Indeed. His life, his profound legal accomplishments, his deeply personal poetic expressions, from championing bilingual education in Aspira to meditating on mortality and finding solace in nature, all of it speaks to a singular, overarching pursuit. To ask not just what is this, but what does it mean to be human here? He doesn't just live life, he interprets it, examines it, elevates it through every action, every word. It really leaves us with a blueprint for a life of purpose.
Yeah, this deep dive truly reminds us of the profound impact one individual can have by embracing diverse disciplines, cultures, and truths. It's a powerful testament to the force of a life dedicated to justice, yes, but also to beauty and to a soul-deep understanding of what it means to be human.
So for you, our listener, perhaps the provocative thought for today is this. In a world that often demands specialization, pushes us into these narrow roles, how might we cultivate our own multifaceted lives, allowing our unique experiences, our diverse passions, to inform both our public contributions and our deepest, most personal reflections? How can we, maybe like Manuel del Valle y Colón, find the courage to speak our truth with those soft voices, yet with unwavering conviction in every realm of our existence?
Something profound to ponder, definitely, as you continue your own journey of discovery.